Zip up your jacket and walk outside, right now. 30 seconds in the cold and you're already reaching for the door handle to get back in. Your ancestors didn't have a door handle. For most of human history, when winter came, there was no house to run back into, no walls, no roof, just open ground, a fire that might go out, and a body that was never built for this. So how did they make it through? The answer isn't luck. It's one of the strangest survival systems ever built, and most of it happened before a single house existed. Let's be clear about what winter meant back then. On the Ice Age plains of Europe and Asia, temperatures regularly dropped to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. At that temperature, exposed skin can start to freeze in minutes. The wind doesn't just chill you, it actively pulls heat out of your body faster than you can replace it. And here's the detail people miss. Humans evolved in Africa. We have no fur, minimal body fat compared to Arctic animals, and skin built for shedding heat, not keeping it. Biologically, we are one of the worst equipped mammals on Earth for sub-zero cold. And yet we didn't just survive it, we spread across it. Here's the first thing most documentaries get wrong. They show you a finished mammoth bone house and call it how Ice Age humans lived. But those houses came late, built by people who already had thousands of years of cold survival knowledge behind them. The real question is what happened before that. How did humans survive winter with no house at all? And the answer starts inside your own body. When your skin hits freezing air, something happens that you never notice. Blood vessels in your fingers and toes clamp shut, a response scientists call vasoconstriction, pulling blood away from your extremities and into your core to protect your vital organs. Then, every so often, those vessels snap back open for a few minutes, flooding your fingers with warm blood before clamping shut again. Researchers call it the hunter's response, and it's the reason your fingers ache and throb in the cold instead of just going numb and dying. It's your body rationing heat like a survivalist rationing food. Ancient humans lived inside this cycle every single day for months at a time. Their bodies weren't just surviving the cold, they were negotiating with it, one blood vessel at a time. But biology alone was never going to be enough. So the real story of Ice Age winter survival isn't a body count, it's an equipment list. And the single most important piece of equipment wasn't a shelter, it was fire. At a site called Barnham in Suffolk, England, archaeologists recently found something that pushed back everything we thought we knew. Baked clay, cracked stone tools, and fragments of iron pyrite, a mineral used to strike sparks, all dated to 400,000 years ago. Not evidence of a fire that happened to burn nearby. Evidence of a fire deliberately built and rebuilt in the exact same spot, over and over again. Around the same time, at Kesem Cave in Israel, researchers found a thick ash layer showing fire maintained in one location for thousands of years straight. This wasn't luck. This was infrastructure. Long before there were walls, there was a flame that never went out, because letting it die meant letting your family die with it. Fire solved three problems at once. It kept predators like cave lions and hyenas away at night, it made meat and roots digestible enough to actually fuel a freezing body, and it created the one warm point in an otherwise hostile landscape. Groups didn't build a house around the fire. They built their entire day around it. Now here's where it gets personal. Fire keeps you warm sitting still. It does nothing for you walking 20 miles across open tundra chasing a herd. For that, humans needed something else entirely, and the evidence for it is bizarre. Scientists studying human lice discovered that clothing lice, the kind that only live in fabric, split off genetically from head lice around 170,000 years ago. That gap tells us something remarkable. Humans were wearing clothing tens of thousands of years before we have a single surviving scrap of it, because hide and fur simply don't fossilize. The lice remembered what the archaeological record forgot. That early clothing wasn't tailored. It was wrapped, tied, and layered animal hide, crude but functional enough to let modern humans push out of Africa and into brutally cold new territory. And every layer came at a cost you don't think about today. Getting a hide meant killing an animal capable of killing you back, then scraping it, then curing it by hand in the cold with stone tools. With fire and hides handling the body, the last problem was shelter. And for most of human history, shelter didn't mean a building. It meant choosing your geography carefully. At a site called La Follette in France, dated to 60,000 years ago, archaeologists found post holes arranged in a circle 30 feet across, evidence of a simple windbreak. Branches and hides staked into the ground to cut the wind, nothing more. Elsewhere, humans used rock overhangs and shallow cave mouths, not deep caverns, positioning their fires right at the entrance so heat reflected back off stone walls. A windbreak plus a fire plus a rock wall isn't a house, but physically, it does almost the same job. It breaks moving air, and moving air is what actually kills you in the cold, far more than still air ever could. And then there was the strategy no shelter could replace: staying close to other people. Groups didn't just share fire, they shared body heat directly, sleeping pressed together in tight clusters through the coldest hours of the night. A single human body generates roughly as much heat as a small space heater. 10 bodies in a huddle create a microclimate that no windbreak alone could match. Cooperation wasn't kindness out here. It was thermodynamics. And in the dark, huddled around that fire, something else was happening that had nothing to do with temperature. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups, living close to this original pattern, found that daytime talk was almost entirely practical: food, tracks, weather. But at night, conversation flipped almost entirely to storytelling. The fire wasn't just heat. It was the only screen humans had, the only classroom, the only place fear and danger and survival lessons got passed from one generation to the next before anyone could write anything down. By the time humans finally started building true structures, dugout pits, layered walls, eventually houses made from mammoth bone, they weren't inventing survival from scratch. They were formalizing a system that already worked, a body that rationed its own blood flow, a fire that never went out, hides stolen from animals that could kill you, a windbreak instead of a wall, and the warmth of other people pressed against your back in the dark. So the next time you zip up a jacket and walk from a warm house to a warm car, remember what that same short walk used to require. Not a building, not a roof, just fire, skin, and each other. And somehow, that was enough.